Hey Gerald, it's me. Happy Saturday. The time is 7:49 a.m. and I just finished dropping off Grant to his math assessment testing for the summer program this summer. And I hope you're having a great weekend. For me, I'm gonna go ahead and make this quick and clear. Rather than do the back and forth and text messaging, because I don't have time for that shit. And you're getting on my nerves. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put this out there. So for your text messaging pertaining to Grant's grades, the only thing when I'm finding out with you, and you took psychology, so I'm sure that you understand this, is you just study human behavior and patterns. So the only thing I'm seeing that you have to really hold of value and something of substance with Grant and trying to stay on him on or whatever, try to run your mouth about, are his grades, the importance of grades, this, that, and the other. And I don't know if you're trying to smoke screen to address what the real issues are, because it seems like you just dance around situations, or because you went to Morehouse and you got your degree, but at what expense? And so I'm not saying this out of anger, I'm saying this of putting it out there on the real. But it'd be one thing if you were the parent who was there, even if you're miles away. That's why I gave you all the resources that I have, so you can do the same things I do. We don't have to talk and say a word to each other. I don't have to communicate with your bitch ass. But realize the fact that, the same resources that I have, you have. So the things that I have been doing, you could have been doing all along, but you chose not to do that because you don't take any really true interest in your child. If you did, you'd know the full situation. You know what he's going through. And, to be honest, you're sitting here talking about do things your way and have him come live with you. You pulled that shit last year with that same question. But to be honest, Grant's doing quite remarkably well. Again, it goes with school loop. Again, you could have asked for the transcripts. Again, you have to see what's going on with his teachers directly. But you would know that if you were more active, even remotely. And you're not. So there's no need for him to come out there and live with you. And not just that, as I let him read my phone, he saw those text messages. We're both looking at you like you were dumb as hell. What would make you think that after 15 years of you not really being there, you doing you, the boy is going to be an adult in less than 2 years and some change? And now you want to come in the game way at the late in the final finish to come in and try to be daddy and don't even know anything about him? Go sit your ass down in a corner somewhere and go have a fucking cookie. It would be one thing if you knew the entire situation. That's like you going and being a boss or an employer at a job. And you see your employees, you get to see who comes in on time, who leaves late, who's actually being productive, all these other factors. And you can make determinations then because you see the full picture. But just for some random person who just comes in, don't even know the entire situation, and you actually are a part of the problem, you're not qualified or credible to talk about anything. And so if anybody can, I can, because I've been there all the way around. I see, like, if you had known better, Gerald, even for middle school, which you didn't know, as one of my sorors, remember Tanisha, the one who was tutoring him back in middle school? Now, she's a teacher, and it made a lot of sense, and I understand the psychological, how things work with teenagers as they enter a whole different school surrounding. There's a lot more pressure. Things kind of get off-put for the first year. And then some bounce back, some don't, but I mean, it's like a transition phase. So that made a lot of sense. And for every time you stepped in his life to step back out, you put such a huge damper on how he was mentally, emotionally, and even with his grades, you can see he was being affected. And as I actually took him to see the therapist last year, come to find out you are the sole core of everything that's wrong with him. You! So why the fuck would he want to come live with you and you're the one who's hurt him so bad and still not trying to make things right? And so even for this year, I really am proud of him. As you saw from the principal's recommendations for his program, you haven't seen the science teacher's recommendation. Grant keeps very high scoring in math. My child is doing exceptionally well. But you wouldn't know that because you just go by school loop with the easy way of things that I had to point out to you, but you have all the other resources, but don't do shit. As I've copied you on the emails to his counselors and other. So what exactly are you going to do, guys? You truly show how you really are, where your priorities are, Gerald. Even for the party that showed a lot, you made a very first and fucked up impression with people who don't even know you want to fuck you up. Because you're a piss poor dad. You came late. Like, I don't ask for much. You see how much I bust my ass on a constant. Only thing out of the whole expensive party, all you had to pay for is some fucking lights. $150. But you guys came late to his own fucking party, and then as you sat there and pulled me aside, I find out you wanted to leave because Steve wanted to go ahead and get him some pussy early. This is an hour and a half into his event. You're there for the fun part, make a show, but go ahead and bounce right back out. You're not there being a parent, nigga. That's called being a babysitter and making a guest appearance. And then come to find out even after that, Grant tells me after that you went ahead and got drunk with your cousins, but it's not the first time you've done that. You always bounce and you're not really there. Even when you have a chance to be. Even as you told me, you sat there and gave your flight to somebody else coming out here for a very big event for your son, a chance to spend time with your son. You chose to do something else, and that's why you came late. But yeah, you can sit there and make time for other things. So how the fuck do you think you're qualified to talk anything about the importance of education and try to uplift him, and you're not credible because you don't even know him? For me, while you were out sitting there doing you and keep doing you, he's seen his mother bust businesses. He's seen the importance of getting a real estate license, getting all these other things, and creating your own situation. And still having to go to school here and there. Still not done yet. So when he goes to college, I'm going back to college and finish with him. But I made a choice to keep him as we plan for him, and I'm making that sacrifice. It's a ride or die situation. But I'm credible because I've been there. I've been there to pick up the tears behind him or clean up your mess every time you step in and out of his life. Every time you run your mouthpiece. But how dare you sit there, come out of your pocket or come out of your mouth thinking that you're just going to go ahead and say, oh, come live with me. It's not that easy. It's not going to happen. And keep in mind with the courts, even if you try, he's at the age and he got to the point to where he wants to speak up for himself. And as you have not been here in all this time and still not making a valid effort, even with talking to the therapist, and they have reports too all about you. It's like 99.9% about you with him. So what makes you think that he wants to come live with you? And what, even with your behaviors and how you guys spend time together, and I talk to him, all he sees is that what you do for him as far as monetary. Even with the knives you bought, I didn't even see all what you bought. I have to put some of those things away because they're illegal. I had no idea. You didn't even use any type of judgment. You just bought shit. So really, how big of a Papa Bear are you? No one asked you to sit there and follow my lead because honestly, I remember from the last video, I told you I didn't want to have nothing to do with you. Even for this time, I can't handle anymore with you. I don't have to talk to you for shit. I don't have to talk to you. Same with my parents. When they sat there and got divorced, my dad didn't say a word to my mom for years. And eventually I went to go live with him because I wanted to. But don't come at me talking about doing things your way because you've been had a choice and a chance and plenty of time to do things your way. You haven't done shit but just sit on priorities and do what you want to do, Gerald. So you take this however the fuck you want to. You don't have to talk to me anymore. But the same resources that I have, you have. I'm not team playing with you. You know what? One thing about that too, I want you to understand that because I reached out to you, and I want to make this clear because Grant understood it too, and he kind of shook his head. A lot of people already know this. I reached out to you because I was trying to hopefully make something happen between you and Grant, because as much as you fucked up and you know you haven't been there, it's never too late. And you know, we already had that conversation. But don't get it twisted, the fact that I need you, because he has plenty of family and we've been doing it with me and him for a while. We don't need you. So whatever I've done to you is to make you feel important, make you feel relevant, make you kind of increase your confidence and give you a chance. It's not anything, it's not doing me any favors other than you just sitting there opening up your mouth, but it's just trying to be more considerate and be more compassionate considering the fact that you're a fuck up as a father. So go ahead and take that to the bank. But I want to make sure it's clear to you about the grades, even for that text message you just sent me earlier, Blood. You don't know what the fuck is going on. You never took the time and the patience or even the desire to, because if you had it, you would have known better. We shouldn't have to keep explaining to you about how things work. If you had to reach out to those teachers yourselves, you have the same resources I do, you would have known better. Your actions show way beyond your words, Gerald. Your actions consistently show. So how stupid do you think people are? So moving forward, Blood, you know, I'm done. You're sorry. You're hella sorry. Just as sorry as your dad. And I can't even fault you too, because it's all in pattern. How can you be a father to somebody you never even really had that same thing? But I'm not going to sit there and keep involving myself with stress and stupid ass, toxic ass people, because in my eyes and Grant's eyes and a lot of people's eyes who have been there with us for this whole ride while you have not been doing you, and no one's even known and seen your face for all this time, you're not qualified. So until you step your game up and being a parent and truly address the situation that's going on between you and him, then you're qualified to say something. Otherwise, sit your ass in the damn corner, have you a few cookies, have you some milk, and shut the fuck up. And I meant that, bitch ass nigga.